Afternoon, students. In this session, we are going to cover another important topic, which is educational sociology and sociology of education. The premise of sociology of education is different from the concept of educational sociology, which is often overlapped and is often confused, which is seen as the application of general principles and findings of sociology to the administration and or processes of education. These approach efforts to pertain principles of sociology to the institution of education as a separate or societal unit. The challenges of educational sociology are derived from the field of education. The content of the sociology of education includes general concepts such as society itself. Definitely, content of sociology of education includes concepts such as society. First is society. It starts with society. Only then other things come secondary. Accommodation, adjustment, assimilation, cultural lag, subculture, status, etc. Other considerations as the effect of the polity and economy and logic on education, the social forces and determinants that affect educational and cultural change, the social institutions involved in the educational process, the family, the school, and the church, various problems of role structure and role analysis in relation to the total social system and the micro society of the school. The school viewed as a formal organization involving authority, selection, the organization of teaching and learning, relationship between social class, our culture and language, our education and occupation, problems of democratization and elitism all fall within the purview of sociology of education. Once again, I will repeat, the school is viewed as a formal organization involving authority, selection, organization of teaching learning, relationship between social class, culture and language, education and occupation, problems of democratization and elitism all fall within the purview of sociology of education. In doing this, the sociologists often utilize any one of the correlation and functionalist approaches. They are demonstrated further. So it is a branch of discipline of sociology which studies the problems of relationship, which studies relationship between society and education. It evolves as a discipline designed to prepare educators for their future task. It is to empower them for their future tasks, to deal with them in an efficient manner. It uses the results of sociological researches in planning educational activities and in developing effective methods of realizing these plans. The main aim of educational sociology is to study social interaction, how it takes place, how they are related, how it affects the other, how it affects the former. So, main aim of educational sociology is to study social interaction among individuals, social processes in society. Francis Brown considered that All education proceeds by the participation of the individual in the social consciousness of the race. Participation of the individual in the social consciousness of the race. So, he defines educational sociology as the discipline which applies the general principles and findings of sociology to the process of education. Educational sociology is by definition a discipline which studies educational sociologically with the premise that it recognizes education as a social fact and a process and an institution, having a social function and being determined socially. It is the application of sociological principles and methods to the solution of problems in an educational system. Educational sociology throws light on the importance of the interaction of different elements of society with an individual. It emphasizes the progress of the society through the medium of education. Problems of schooling and instructions as problems of society are studied. It tries to answer several questions as to what type of education, what should be the objectives of education, what are the aims of education, society's needs, aspirations, what should be the curriculum, what should be the methods of teaching, why children become delinquent, why children become aggressive, how school environment or home environment affect students' participation in classroom, how it affects behavioral changes in students, why some children are shy whereas others are extrovert, others are willing to participate in classroom activities and some students are very shy, they are not willing to answer, they are not asking questions. Why such behavior? Because it is all related to their family, society in which they live in, whatever they see, whatever they observe, they develop some kind of skills. So it is about their environment. It is how they develop, what they see. So it is related to the world around them. It throws light on those institutions and organizations and on the social interactions that were important in educational process. It uses educational interaction that helps in the development of the personality of the individual so that he becomes a better social being. It helps in the development of personality so that one becomes a better social being. It was realized that though educational sociology made everyone realize the social nature of education, formulated ideals by which educational planning was guided, used the theoretical knowledge gathered by researchers conducted either by sociologists or educational sociologists. And later, confusion was there as what the proper dimension of educational should be. So there were differences of opinion regarding this educational sociology or sociology of education. There were several different opinions, different versions, what it should be like. What type of researchers are to be classified under the head of educational sociology? This led to thinking that there should be a separate branch of knowledge which can be designated as sociology of education. This led to the thinking that there should be a separate branch of knowledge which can be designated sociology of education, which is related to social processes involved in the process of education. Soon, educational sociology became a historical phenomenon. In 1963, the Journal of Educational Sociology became the Journal of Sociology of Education. So, sociology of education may be defined as the scientific analysis of the social processes and social patterns involved in the education system. Now let's talk about functions of education in society. Acquisition of knowledge and development of the personality of an individual is no longer, remember, is no longer presumed to be the main function of education. That we spoke about development of personality, acquisition of knowledge. No, it is beyond that. Functions are assumed to occur without direct effort. Assimilation and transmission of culture traditions. This needs to be done consciously and selectively because traditions need to be selected for transmission as well as omission, depending on their value and desirability in today's democratic setup. What is required and what is to be omitted. It is to be decided by us, by society. For example, one needs to propagate the idea Sarv Dharma Sambhav. Meaning, what is the meaning of it? All dharma, all truths are equal to or harmonious with each other. So, in the recent times, this statement has been taken as meaning all religions are the same. That all religions are merely different paths to God or the same spiritual goal. It emphasizes moral responsibilities in society that people should have towards each other, towards this society. At the same time, education should encourage people to do away with the custom of child marriage, untouchability, because there are evils in our society. Education can help us to eradicate those evils. Education should help in acquisition, clarification of personal values, self realization, self reflection, who we are, why this, how can I do this, how can I connect, how can I develop spiritual things, who I am, why I am here, what is my purpose, what is my aim, what is my vision, etc. Awareness of one's abilities and goals. What is my goal? Self esteem, self efficacy. Thinking creatively. Cultural appreciation. Art, music, humanities. Because when we have artistic temperament, we have the ability to appreciate music, beautiful things in nature. So we should have aesthetic sense. Only then we can appreciate that. Developing a sense of well-being, mental and physical health, which is very important to adjust in this society, to adjust with other members of society. Acquisition, clarification of values related to the physical environment, respect, giving and receiving recognition as human beings, and lastly, capacity, ability to live a fulfilling life, which is full, where we feel happy, we feel complete, fulfillment, completeness, feeling of a sense of satisfaction with what we have, with what I am, what I am doing, satisfaction, fulfillment, feeling of sense of fulfillment. That's important. So let's stop here.